Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Put the kids to sleep and throw the anchors in the ocean. Proudmoore's #1 podcast is coming at you live on set. I'm Slidewhistle.
It's Immunization. We advise you to throw down the anchors because today we are DNR on deck. We are on a boat in Brellis Harbor.
Call me Brenda Song because I'm Aaron, fireman extraordinaire and horde punching bag on deck. She's married to Home Alone Man.
That is the craziest thing to me. I'm thinking about Macaulay Culkin and Brenda Song together. Did they have a kid or did I make that up?
I think they do have at least one kid. And Cubby Bub said the same thing, like, can you believe it? And I was like, I mean, did you expect them to date less famous people, more famous people? I feel like they're equal levels of like, they're famous. Well, what else have they done? Got married, I guess.
I guess maybe only, I don't know. I think Brenda Song's less famous than Macaulay Culkin. I don't think your average Joe is going to know who Brenda Song is. They're going to, if you do the Home Alone face, they're going to know who you're talking about.
But at the same time, I wonder if Brenda had a longer career because Macaulay Culkin was really popular for like 4 or 5 years, and he was very popular. And then what did a 12-year-old Macaulay Culkin do?
Well, I think also you have to think about this though. Whenever somebody saw one of the other Culkin kids, they were like, is that Macaulay Culkin? When they saw Rory McCulkin or the other Kieran McCulkin, like, oh my God.
I saw a thing on Twitter that's like, oh, it's crazy. All 6 of them are going to be in a show together as like a joke character. And I was like, there's fucking 6 of them?
Is that real? There is 6?
There are 6 of them.
I didn't know that there was more than him, honestly.
I knew Kieran because he's in another movie and he was in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. So I was like, okay, there's another one. But yeah, I didn't know that he had 4 additional brothers and sisters.
Man, the Home Alone story, I guess, was kind of real, right? All those siblings.
Well, it sounds like they were never really home alone if there's so many of them.
God, does he wish he could have been home alone?
Please, God, Brenda Song, leave me at home. How often do you think she makes that face at him? How often does she slap her cheeks when they're going to bed?
Probably never, honestly. Like on the converse of things, do you think he ever brings up like the Prindle?
do you think like she accidentally like kicks their dog or something and it's like, oh my God, Scraps, I'm sorry, and he says, way to go, Wendy Wu, homecoming warrior.
I was gonna say, I bet you he puts on the homecoming dress and does like some kung fu for her sometimes, you know? Does a little show.
Speaking of little show, there's been little to show this week in the World of Warcraft. But like your Nana telling you that it's not time to get more toothpaste, we will continue to squeeze everything we can.
We've got some scary news coming out of the guild here.
Oh, shit.
So I don't know if I know you have your notifications muted for the Discord, Aaron, but did you get the radar tag that went out a couple days ago?
Well, I did see. Are we flopping into potentially mythic raiding?
Yeah, potentially. So I feel like I'm the only one that's been like raiding the last week and a half out of the 3 of us with our guild. And for some reason now, when like attendance is like down, like people are like, yeah, this is, we got AOTC, we've cleared Farrak like an additional like 4 times now past that. Another legendary dropped last night for Cynical, our Holy Paladin. Naturally, the only one, is that the first one to like drop for our guildies on a guild run?
Yes,
that is the first legendary we've seen. Period.
Well,
guild,
no,
right?
It's just
Brio has one, but he got
Brio.
it from LFR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying, but like as a guild running a raid night Tuesday, Wednesday, that's the first one we've seen drop, right? Like on our raid nights.
Yeah, well, first one I saw. Anyways, like for some reason they're like, oh, do you guys want to do Mythic? When I'm like, everyone's like taking off right now. This is normally a time when like we just take a break because like people were going away. I'm like, we're not gonna be able to pull together 20 raiders, I don't think.
I am down to do Mythic. I'm in. So I didn't raid last week or the week before because Baldur's Gate Honor mode has been crazy, and I can't get these people. It's so hard to get everybody on the same night to play. So if I get an opportunity, I am shanking every plan I have to get to the end of Honor mode. We're so fucking close. We're right there. But I will shirk Honor mode night to fucking do Mythic. I just love seeing the struggles. I love the experience of it. And honestly, it shouldn't be that hard, the first ones, if we can get 20 people.
Well, we said that in the past. Also, I just checked the logs to see how many we had this week. We had 18. So plus you 2, that's 20. But I know a lot of these people won't show up. But sorry, Aaron, what were you saying?
No, I was just going to say, I'm less enthused for like Mythic, the thrill of the fight. Let's get cool gear. And mostly just like, if we can get one, even one, weird, like, page scrubbing crumb bums come out of nowhere and be like, can I get a guild invite?
Yes.
Which has happened every time we've killed like 1 or 2 mythics. And it's like, it's so weird. It's like, why? If you watch, that number will never improve. We will never make it to 3 or 4. So it's weird that they're like, you guys you're a rocket to the moon. I'm itching my ride.
We gotta strike while the iron's hot and get in, and while we're improving, and then we never do Mythic again for like an expansion.
Like I was thinking, what was the last Mythic boss we killed when it was live? I feel like it wasn't it wasn't Dragonflight, and was it even Shet? Oh, it was Terragru, right? Is that what it was?
Well, no, didn't we do Custodian? I swear we did Mythic Custodian.
Oh, Vigilant Guardian? Is that what it was?
It was Guardian, his name. Custodian felt wrong, but also he was just kind of a little silly man with a big ball for a body. So I was like, yeah, that's the guy who pushes the brooms.
Oh, the guy that like, yeah, if you stand in the wrong spot,
yeah, he falls out of the door, and he's like, 3/4 of my boss fight was just ads.
I forgot about that guy. Can you name any other bosses from that aren't obviously the named ones, like Sylvanas? Terragru.
Skolex the Insatiable. I looked at him the other day. Desogny.
Door opens guy. What's his name?
The door. Whoa. Well, that's from
Fate
Sanctum.
Scribe Ropalo? Is that his name?
Scribe. I thought it was with an I. We just everyone called him Fate Scribe.
Fatey.
Sadi's was tough because not only did you get fake fantasy names, but then also everyone had an honorific. So, like, no one ever called them their full thing.
I'm still waiting for that, what's he called? Not a broker. The broker? The keeper? What's he called? The guy who steals stuff? The treasure man? When's he coming back?
Yeah, you know what? I remember fighting him in the Seppi, but then at the same time, he reduced himself into a mask, just like he did in Nathria, so Zymox, he's got to be coming back soon. I need more brokers, period. They're supposed to be everywhere. Where the hell are these guys?
I'm excited. I think we can pull this together, especially because Fireball's noticed, and he'll show up for Mythic Raid.
Well, maybe I won't show up.
You have to heal, so I don't have to heal. I'm over healing. I don't want to heal anymore.
Last week I said that the shoe is beginning to drop. The shoes have dropped and they're in the closet. Slidewhistle's healing arc is distinctly over.
Well, it's unfortunate. I have to be on my evoker again, but you have to be on your hunter again because of the legendary stuff happening with the remix season 4, right?
So my question is, why are people referring to this as a remix season now? You're not the first person I've seen say this. I've seen a lot of people call it that. I'm like, are they referring it to as such? Because at the end of Shadowlands, they didn't refer to the final season as a remix either, did they? They called it like a fated season.
Yeah, it was season 4 was the fated rating.
I think it's just because I could not remember that it was called fated, so the only word I associate with that closely is remix, because also it's fun to say, and it's what it is. It's a remix.
Remix.
So yeah, I guess who the fuck's gonna heal? Who's gonna heal us? Because I'm not bringing Lil Quinoa to I'm bringing my evoker. Because the legendary buff is now applying to Nazrazru, the wristband of power, or whatever the fuck it's called. I never got.
Yeah. So Slide and I were talking before we started recording here, and I'm not. So because this upcoming season has all the past raids, I realize I am going to have to try to get a fucking Razbow again. I had solidly put this out of my brain, and I'm like, fuck you, Blizzard, bringing this shit back. Although, remember in the Faded season, they gave us little tokens, so hopefully I can use a token to get the bow when it never drops.
I'm excited for Persephone to get her second one on her character that's probably still using the first one.
She's leveling her hunter again. I think she legitimately is going to play it in this next season.
Hell
I'm bringing
yeah.
the Invoker back just for it. I'm ready.
Hell yeah.
Brio is also going to be playing his hunter, so there will be several hunters, I feel
I
like.
should get my hunter ready for this. I think I deserve this bow first.
I'm not going to even say that because Papa Steen, my one... Well, I'm sorry, actually, never mind. Grumbins, you're being pulled up by your bootstraps. Call Grumbins and Grumbins on the phone because you're going to use that bow and then transmog off of it because, canonically, he only uses guns.
I think it is going to drop, though. I saw some posts on the Reddit.com, which I hate going into the subreddit. It's the worst people in there. But I saw some pictures of some raids where like 6 to 7 axes dropped at the end of a kill. So maybe this is a good sign, because fuck making that shit a hard drop. It's so annoying.
Allegedly, they are boosting it. This is according to the Gospel of Wowhead. They're boosting it to the point that, quote, if you keep going, it'll get up to 100%.
Just good.
It seems the previous system was like, if you put your all into it for months, maybe you can get 10%. Now they're not fucking around because like the expansion's ending. They're like, just get it.
Yeah, just let me do. I just want to do the quest line for Nazruzru. Maybe learn how to say it when I hear someone else say it in game. I love that Wowhead specifically has disclaimers now. Wow, Wowhead, that's good. Who is this? Oh, it's Squishy. Maybe he's required to have disclaimers on his posts now. This data is not labeled. We don't know if there's an additional base percentage drop and what it is and if it exists. He's basically just like, we don't know. We're not the gospel. This is just all speculative.
Like, don't yell at us, Slidewhistle. They know that you will complain.
Yeah, all those other podcasters let you get away with it, Squishy. You little night elf hater. I know who you really are.
So I'm very excited for all of that rating business. Almost as excited as I was to apparently bring an end to the Big Dig Traitor's Rest storyline.
Wait, I'm sorry. Clarify for me. Is there a storyline?
Well, howdy doody. That's been some of the only WoW content I've done in the last 2 to 3 weeks here, and I could not have told you. But according to Wowhead and an achievement I got yesterday, the story's finally over.
What does this mean? Like, explain, Wowhead.
So, I can't even do it justice because it is literally such a long write-up, but every week, randomly, you could get a relic that related to, like, the history of the thing. Basically, big dragons showed up, Doom Shadow, I believe, and other Drakthir were fighting it, and you learn bits and pieces of it, but it's so long and so dry that, like, I don't even feel like it would be a disservice to read everything on the show, because, like, who gives a fuck? And it's so funny, because when you would turn this quest in, Edward Giergel would...
His name is ass, by the way. Horrible name.
I made the joke online that I was like, that sounds like something that I would make up as a placeholder name for a character.
It's like some Goofenheimer name we would use to talk about a character we hate.
Yeah. And so he talks and he talks and he talks and talks, but you're not like beholden to listen to him. So I thought it was just flavor text, but apparently so like the first time I sat there and I was like, what does this mean? And the second time I sat for about half of it and I was like, okay, I'm going to go. Every time after that, I'd turn the quest in and by the time he was like, yes, the bones of Davy Jones, I'd already be up in the air leaving.
So you're telling me that each time he's been giving like a little bit of a tidbit?
Each time he was telling me a tidbit of this grand story, the thing that 10.2.5 was supposed to be all about, and I was just like, bye. So I gotta say, wow, sorry, guy. I don't know, give me a cutscene, lock me down, do something. I don't care enough about dragon lore to sit there and listen to your guy say it at me.
So I was gonna say this is actually something finally interesting about Traitor's Rest. I tried multiple times to do the big dig, and it's just everything about it is just so, it just annoys me. The mechanics that you have to fucking mine with are annoying. The timer is so, I thought it was every, what is it? Every hour? No, wait, what is it actually?
It is actually every 48 minutes. For some reason, WoW, 48 is their magic number.
Because I thought it was like every other one where it lined up, and I went there. I'm like, I'm gonna go there at this time, and I'm like, where the fuck is it? Because Immune didn't tell me what time it was really at.
Me? You can look at your fucking map, okay? Excuse me. But anyways, I'm on Wowhead, and in the comments section. This is really funny. Schnizzle here says, I'm ... just surprised there is lore? Did I just miss something here? And then Chase Potate replies, every week the dialogue prompts were different. Not the first bit or the end, but the ones in the middle. So if you just thought he was saying the same thing, because he was saying the same thing at the beginning, you would have missed the lore that was in the middle.
And he goes for so long. Like, his opening thing is like 3 lines. So it's like, who's going to sit there and be like, damn, Edward Geringle, I love what you have to say.
But then Chase here also says, then you can also click on a book in front of the dig dude at the big dig that sums up everything that has been found that week. So I definitely had never clicked on the book there. So I don't know that it prompted you to do so either.
I do not remember there being a book. That said, I am hardly ever in that room. I only ever return to turn that in and buy my every 2 weekly backpack. But yeah, Well, damn, wow. I'm glad you're trying ulterior storytelling, but it didn't work this time.
Yeah, I also opened the comments, and Bear God raises a pretty good point. Let me save you all some time here. Denuzer was the head writer when this was designed. So do you think this was maybe something he was trying out, maybe, and then they just kind of didn't really go much places with it because he was left in November?
It just is weird to me that they would decide to put lore behind an event like this that we've just been kind of trained to think is a bunch of nothing. It's like I don't expect me to get a lore bomb at the soup.
Yeah, the researchers were under fire, but I hate to say I never checked in with them afterwards. What was the nasally voice guy, Renal? Did he spin me a story every time we finished that?
Part of me thinks maybe because this is basically, I don't want to say an evolution, I kind of want to call it a devolution of archaeology, that they were like, well, we have to have some kind of story attached to it, because in archaeology, you get the relics, and remember, when you open your book of your things, there would be little pieces of lore. Oh, you found Tim's little drum. Tim died in a well, and here's his drum. You could read about it. So maybe they were trying to do that, but making the beginning of the guy's sentence the same every week, that'd be fucked up.
Or even, and I'm sorry, but it's been well established, and you know what, I keep seeing it more and more. I don't think anyone really cares about dragons. Having the story be a single story where a couple little dragons fight a big dragon, and then we found his bones. It's like, snooze, come up with something interesting. Who else was here? If it was new lore. Yeah, I'm going to assume dragons were here. It's the Dragon Isles. I'm not interested in any old bones we find.
Yeah, I 100% agree, but I do, they almost have to include all this dragon lore, because people would complain that there wasn't any dragon lore in Dragonflight if there, you know what I mean? So it's unfortunate that we find it boring.
And then at the same time, it's who else even would have been here? Because you're not gonna find human bones, you're not gonna find elf stories here, because it's the Dragon Isles. It was in a magic mist for 10,000 years. They're the only ones that were here.
Is this an us problem? Because we since we've been playing, the dragons haven't really been doing anything for us. You know what I mean? BFA, I don't know where the dragons at. I mean, WoD, where the dragons at? So if dragon fans out there with the dragon theories that we're gonna get into, let us know.
But before we get into it, I just want to say, because this is probably their swan song, I don't know the last time we'll be dealing with the Azerothian archives. So they will be involved in this week's Time Warp. It's been a while, so I'll just quickly go over it. Time Warp, I have a trivia question that these two will take will answer rapid fire within 40 seconds, which is the time of a time warp, the rating mechanic. And the question this week is going to be, I was going to say, give me names of the members of the Azerothian archive team, but I don't know them. You do not know them. So on the count of 3, just kind of, give me a description. Like race, they got something on their face, just give me an indication that you might have seen this character before.
Okay, I think I'm as ready as I can be.
I'm ready.
And 3, 2, 1, go.
There's
Weird.
Edward. There's Roska.
There's a
I think
troll with a bone.
there's a Draenei with the techno scanner thing.
There's twin dwarfs that wear hats and stand side by side. Oh, there's a mechanome that has a hook for a hand.
I think the one that's there is he a troll? He's like the one that's just like by himself doing research and he like actively hates the fact that you're there.
There's Nub, the Thunder New. He farms lightning. There's some elemental guy who's made of fire.
There's a water elemental one that has a cowboy hat.
The earth elemental that has chaps on.
I can't tell if you're joking or not because like there legitimately is a water
yeah,
elemental.
time. Because, I mean, I'm just going to say, I'm going to give that to Immune, but I'm really weirded out because, Slide, are these people you've seen? They're not people that were on my list, but you said them all with such conviction that I was like, am I just not looking around at this thing?
You gotta look around real closely. We gotta look around. That earth elemental is hot. That's why he's this weird. No, it's not real.
Okay, wait, so none of that was real?
No, it was all real. I think I won the time warp.
No. Okay, Immune just wins because also he remembered a name, one
It's
name.
weird.
What's his last name?
Dilly Nubs.
That's fair.
Aaron, do you know Edward's last name?
I don't know. I'm not going to check. But we got Edweird and we got Roska, but you also did mention Draenei with goggles on her head. So, Immune, you get to take this one.
Huzzah! I win a time warp, kind of.
I just want to let everyone know the Wowhead article lists like 4 characters, then it says various adventurers, and then it says the player. Even they didn't want to go
They
into
really
depth.
did Time Person of the Year you to us, didn't they?
You are the winner.
And you have to consume a drink.
Now, think about this. There's a lot of bad people they named Time Person of the Year. Like, they probably shouldn't have done that.
Well, I mean, yeah, even just 2016 alone, by naming you, like, there's a lot of, like, pedophiles and rapists and murderers out there. It's like, damn, you're celebrating them.
Well, that's the thing. They never said that the Time Person of the Year is a good person, because didn't Trump get it too? So
And Hitler.
yeah, so it's just like monumental people, for better or worse, I guess.
You excited about the Oracle rework?
Ooh! Good thing things are hot in my room because I can just set down my headset and go attend to chores while you guys talk about this.
Oh, well, don't go too far because it's really quick, because literally we just got a blue post right before we started recording where Blizzard was just like, thanks for the feedback. In particular about the Oracle hero tree, which is the Discipline and Holy Priest one. And they basically said, after reading your feedback, discussing the talent tree, and playtesting the concept internally, we've decided to revisit the Oracle tree, especially regarding its focus on replacing PI. They didn't really say what. They just want everyone to know that they will be reworking it because people have had a lot of strong opinions about it.
Wouldn't it be funny if it just gives you like a second ability that's very PI-esque? So you have 2 PIs.
I got 2 PIs.
You got 2 PIs. Put that paladin down.
Sorry if my audio quality is distinctly ruptured now. I opened up a window and there's a lovely songbird outside who's singing me a song.
Anduin? Anduin.
I'm just glad that it's not someone sketchy. We've had a lot of scary business happen around this apartment recently. Some lightheaded bitch named Bianca has been beefing with her baby mama, and they're doing it at the elevators right outside of our apartment. So I'll take the songbird until they return tonight.
Well, luckily the PI is nestled safely under the church. Nestled safely under the church.
The church?
Benedictus.
I think I'm out of quotes. Immunization! He knows my name!
Okay, well, I think that about wraps up that. I mean, I'm glad that they're doing something about it, but like, I don't know. I still feel like I'm probably gonna choose the whatever the other one is.
You know what I wanted when I was a kid, more than anything? A Johnny Awesome action figure. But we just couldn't afford it, because he's a weird joke character that I think they got rid of for being transphobic.
R.I.P. Speaking of transphobic.
Which, wow, character is getting canceled!
Well, not exactly. The first kiss. The first on-screen WoW kiss. Do you guys see that article they posted about it?
Well, no, but it's our friends the Night Elves, correct?
Making love in Warcraft.
Hmm?
Building Azeroth with kiss cam technology. So I guess there was a special Valentine's Day edition of Building Azeroth, which, what the fuck is that? Is this a series going on that I missed? Taryn Gregory talked about the first on-screen kiss in Warcraft history. Is that true?
Well, I mean, because they just didn't have the models smush each other too much. Like, I think maybe they had, like, Proto-Varian and Tiffin in a cutscene, like an in-game cutscene, face each other one time. But yeah, this is the first time they've been able to actually get them to smush together.
Do you guys know what the first in-engine hug was?
Wait, what do you mean by that?
First, so you know how we just had the first in-engine kiss?
Oh, I thought you said HUD.
Hug. H-U-G.
I mean, like, I was gonna be like, the game's always had a HUD.
Did you know what the first GUI was? Look at this alpha photo.
Was it legitimately like also Night Elves? Was it Chandris and Tyrande?
Aaron, do you have a guess?
I think it was Hogger and GHC. He's like, you son of a bitch, you've been eluding me for so long. And he went...
Speaking of transphobia, the first in-engine hug was our very own, the Pelagos, and Clea. They were the first in-engine hug.
Wow, that's crazy.
Was there a big huff made about that? I remember articles about that being a fucking thing.
I think it says more so about how the news cycle is kind of slow right now, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, because as soon as the Night Elves lock lips, I remember that being a big thing, like, oh my god, they did it! But yeah, it's wild that the first hug was just a little bit ago. Although I do remember, because I believe they hugged in the cutscene when you defeated Argus, like before he became the Pelgarbiter. And I remember being like, their animation is pretty good now. But yeah, I don't remember a big stink being made about it.
Yeah, so hey, maybe the technology, maybe we can get more shit out of this tech. Like, what's next? When's the first in-game fucking? That's what I'm waiting to see.
Oh, shit. My girl Illyria's gonna give the first Hummer to her man to kick off the war within.
The war within this bedroom.
Oh, hubba, wooba, wooba. Speaking of bedrooms, let's go check out Growlina's bedroom, shall we?
Oh no, she's definitely a puts clothes and not a chair in the corner of the room kind of girl.
Who would do that?
Welcome once again to my parlor, kids. It's your girl, Growlina, giving you the final, free, steamy romance novel read for this, the month of love. Today I'll be reading to you an excerpt from one of my favorite steamy romance novels, Blue Moon. Tail swooshing and hips swaying, the curvy figure walked purposefully across the lake toward the man resting by the shore. Rising quickly as she approached, he appeared visibly happy to be in her presence. Blue arms flowed over his shoulders as a smooth tail coiled seductively around his waist.
Why must I travel so far to be meeting men like you?
Her voice carried a strong, alluring accent. Grinning wildly, he gently pushed her away, openly staring as the light caught her features.
Up here!
She exclaimed in playful anger. With a helpless shrug, he reached into his pack and pulled out a small pouch. My wonderful Sula, I've brought you something. Confidence wrapped his words like a steel blanket. She plucked the tiny bag from his hands, excitedly pulling it open and revealing a citrine pendant.
Ah, Marcus, you shouldn't have.
The usual teasing was gone from his voice. Every facet lights the sky and my heart with your beautiful reflection. Sula frowned.
No. I mean, you really shouldn't have. I could craft something better by accident.
For the first time, possibly ever, Marcus looked hurt. His shoulders slumped slightly, the cocky, ever-present grin missing from his handsome face. Sula opened her mouth to speak, smiling warmly. A glowing rune appeared above her eyes.
I don't think I can mend your feelings, even with my gift.
Despite the statement, her words seemed to do the trick. Marcus smirked roguishly as he adjusted his leg plates. Well, you aren't the only gifted one. Silence penetrated the room with palpable force as the conversation shifted to the language shared by all races of Azeroth. Minutes became hours until their passionate dialogue was interrupted by lightning streaking from the cloudless sky, thunderously slamming into the lake's surface, bathing them in steam. Is something wrong? Marcus asked.
No, my Marcus. You're just off to a great start.
The remaining pages have been thoroughly destroyed by the elements. Well, that will be your final tidbit of steamy, sensual romance here on the main show. But sign up to our Patreon, patreon.com/DoNotRelent, for one more additional extra steamy reading. I'll see you all again real soon. Growlina out. Thanks, Growl. That sure was a hoot. For no particular reason, I just like to let everyone know that they found video of Georgia Governor?
I think she's just a House rep,
Georgia House Rep, Marjorie Taylor Greene on American Idol, going under the name Sarah Sugarman. And she sang poorly and tried to show her boobies.
Yeah, what a fucking fool. This is your bi-yearly reminder that if you support any of Marjorie Taylor Greene or her QAnon Republican Party ideals, you can she-bang yourself right on out of here and go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been very clear all along, but if you're newer, and that is surprising or offensive to you, you can leave. Goodbye.
Get the fuck out of here.
And I'm going to leave it at that. Usually I'd give a solid endorsement for the other side, but I can't. He's old as fuck, and he's
I am endorsing the other side because there's a lot of slandering going on with that. He's fine. It's okay.
It's a very strong endorsement there. He's okay. We're, of course, not referring to the president and referring to
William Hung.
Yeah, we're talking about William Hung. People thought he wasn't doing so good because his song was kind of bad, but he's doing okay. I think he's a real estate salesman.
Okay, but before we get back into WoW, though, I am confused about, you said she used a different name? Do they all use stage names on American Idol?
I don't know. I mean,
considered real?
Hello, my name is William Jacobson. It's all been a lie. The only real one is Constantine. Well, that's probably why his name was Constantine. Who actually names their child that?
It's like a wrestling name. Constantine. Okay, there's some weird WoW products coming out soon.
Well, do tell.
So, let's start off with this one. This is interesting. The World of Warcraft, the official tarot deck and guidebook, is now available for pre-order.
So it's listed as having 78 tarot cards with original artwork and then a 128-page booklet.
So I go to the Amazon listing. First of all, this is coming out November 5th. Who the fuck is pre-ordering this far in advance for
Jesus
tarot
Christ?
cards?
Yeah, and who's getting that many? I mean, I guess I know a lot of girlies that like WoW and like tarot, but like, yeesh.
I mean, it's guide your tarot practice with this beautiful tarot deck with guidebook filled with original, never before seen artwork inspired by the massively popular World of Warcraft online role playing game. And then I go to look at it, and there's not a single image of anything about what the style of these cards look like. Okay.
That it's cap. It's a fucking lie. You're gonna pull the scepter, the king's scepter, and it's gonna be like that Pandaren, the one that they always use, and it's gonna be like, oh man.
Well, so do you think that they will, like, I don't know much about tarot, but do you think they'll take like the traditional tarot ones and then just like make them WoW themed? So like, well, you draw a card, and I just did a quick Google search here, so I don't know, and then like one would be like the High Priestess, and then it's like, you know, a WoW, and then it's like a card of immunization. I don't know.
Okay, you know what? The Wildhead comments are actually very excited about this, which is honestly surprising as fuck. Literally, this comment literally says this. From Necromorta, ooh. The Diablo 4 deck was so gorgeous. The artwork was so beautiful. Worth the money. Going to pre-order this one too. And they go, I get it. Don't use it. It's not your cup of tea. You also don't need to be mean about it. Art could be appreciated too. Scan it to make a wall print. It is chef's kiss.
That's
Okay.
literally all I was going, because in my heart of hearts I was like, this is slightly interesting. I'm not a tarot girly, I'm not a witch, but like, I mean, yeah, it's just, if it's good art and you get what you said, it was 72 of them.
Yeah.
If it's 72 individual pieces of art, that's neat. That's cool.
Bear God is here again. Bear God must be in the
Oh
Wildhead
shit!
comments. I'm watching.
he just trolls the forum 24/7.
This shit actually is kind of funny. Bear God says, how should I invest my inheritance money? Draws cards. A Murloc Tide Runner over Dathramere inverted. Past, Thorum, Titanic Keeper. Future, Magni Bronzebeard. Strengths, Brand's Pet Monkey inverted. Obstacles, Lotheb. Ah, yes, my future is helpful.
No, I think that I do think this is going to create a bunch of really funny memes too.
Honestly, I think I'm kind of being convinced to buy this. It's only how much money is this? Okay, it's $28. It's not the cheapest thing in the world, but somebody says I'm going to forget. I'm sorry, Tony 123456789 says perfect. I'm going to forget all about it by the time it arrives in November and be surprised by the gift from my past self. That's true. In a long time. And then the other item we have here, World of Warcraft, The Voices Within, short story collection, available to pre-order.
This one's actually more interesting because it is apparently some stories that are going to kind of bridge the gap between the lore of where we currently are and then what is coming with the War Within. So there's 4 stories. One's called Anduin's Wanderings, one's called Gazlo's Leadership, a third one's called Thrall and Durak, and a fourth one is called Illyria and Eritar.
So also I should say, Thrall and Durak, I realize it was his son's name. I thought he said Thrall and Durag, like like he found like a piece of cloth and he was like, hell yes, now I can maintain my juicy waves for the upcoming War Within.
Hey, you gotta maintain them.
You gotta do it somehow.
It is in fact his son, which, when was the last time we saw or heard from him?
For the Orc Heritage Armor quest, he was a grown-ass man and he talked. It was weird.
There's some descriptions here of the 4 stories on the Amazon website. I'm definitely pre-ordering this. This is cool. Okay. From deep beneath the surface of Azeroth, a mysterious voice cries out for heroes. But before those brave souls heed the call, they must answer to their own voices within. Anduin's wanderings at last lead him to the solitude he seeks, until his peace is shattered in a heartrending tale by Christy Golden. What happens to Andy?
Well, so I assume it's him leaving the Shadowlands, and then, I don't know, starting his wanderings that we've heard about, where, you know, why am I like completely blanking on the name of the spy
Philithith?
group? that was tracking
Oh,
him.
the SI-7.
Yes. So I assume this is also going to connect the dots there where the SI-7 was tracking him and where he was headed.
I mean, if anything, it's just him trying to find the best way to get to Silithus from the Shadowlands. As someone who is not a mage or does not know, he's trying to like stay off the grid. That's got to be tough. I mean, what would it have to be? You sneak through the portal to Stormwind to go to Borealis to go through that portal?
Yeah, I guess. And how like they're gonna find you. He's so
Yeah,
bad
like-
at disguising. We've already established that.
Yeah, we know that your go-to disguise is to put schmutz in your hair and tape a fake mustache on. Like, you got to be harder than that. Maybe that's where he gets rid of all of his locks. Like, he hears some dwarf being like, "We're on the lookout for Anduin with his beautiful fucking gorgeous hair." And he was like, "Oh man, I gotta get me a crew cut. I gotta go to
wait a
Great
minute.
Clips."
We didn't even think about that. How do you think he cut his hair? Did he go to the barber shop in Stormwind, or did he take his sword and cut it himself? Because it's a pretty tight buzz almost, right? Like, are there clippers in Azeroth? Like, how do you do it?
Well, there definitely are because there's a barber shop, but I assume he probably just went to a barber.
All right. Andrew Robinson takes Gazlowe to a struggling goblin city. What fucking goblin city isn't struggling? Where he aims to inspire its citizens to more worthy ambitions. Boring.
Well, it's mainly about how Gazlowe was appointed to be the trade prince now, right?
Yeah, it's very clearly just Gazlowe is there, and then people are like, "Why is Gazlowe there?" And it's like, "Well, let my friend Andy Robinson tell you."
Delilah Dawson, sick name, gives voice to Illyria Windrunner, sick name, desperate to connect with her son in a tense, bittersweet journey home.
So Eritar is her son. Have we met him in game or anything like that?
Yes. He was kind of farting around randomly. And then I know I met him far too many times in BFA because he would be on the stairs being like, "My mommy's so mean. Ugh."
In the corrupted visions.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh my god.
I see what they're doing. I think, okay, so you know how they're saying new WoW, new. I think we're getting a Degrassi next generation. I think we're getting like a new cast of character. I think Eritor's gonna come in, and I saved this one for last because this one, and we'll see how this fucking goes, and I'm already a little hesitant on this. Thrall grapples with his son's coming of age in a heartfelt story by Jonathan Maberry about what it means to love and let go. Thrall's son is leaving the fucking nest to be a main character in the Warcraft universe, isn't he?
No, he's just coming out as gay and Thrall is homophobic.
That, or he's just jerking his wiener.
I know you're coming of age in there.
Oh,
It's all about getting a grip and letting go, if you catch my drift.
Oh.
Father, please, this is embarrassing. Command the waters to clean it. Not all problems can be solved with the elements, my child. Get on your hands and knees and clean up your own cummy.
There's a reason the elements betrayed me.
Or, just gotta let it sit. We live in Outland. It's not like this place. It's not like we got a lot of neighbors. We don't have to keep up with the HOA.
Seeing a lot of bad takes about people just being like, they should put this lore in the game. No one's gonna. How can they put, like, what is the vehicle you want them to put this lore in the game? You want them to make 85 cinematics? Like, I don't get it.
What does the player character do other than literally just be there for, like, Thrall finding Duroc masturbating and being like, "You gotta go do this outside of the house"? You would just go there to watch it.
Yeah, like, what, do they want them to put these books in game? Like, I just don't know how they expect to get as much content out of it. I don't know. Like,
Especially because every written word is worth, like, 10, like, in-game words. Like, so if you have a short story that's, like, 20 pages, what, are you gonna have someone sit there for, like, 40 minutes of content that they're not actually playing? No, and also, I don't, just go read the books. I'm sure they'll be online. Like, it's unfortunately, and I know a lot of people don't like to do it, think about it, but WoW is a multimedia facet now. If you need to catch up with it all, you kind of have to do your homework.
any medium does this. Like, if you want more info, they flesh it out outside of the game.
And like, what do these people expect? Like, do they want us to have like 4 new quests pop up in Valdrakken? One of them being like, go to Outland to catch up with Thrall, and then like you just have like a 25 minute like quest chain there where they just portray whatever is being involved in the story of him struggling with his son growing up. Like, I feel like that's kind of boring. It's like, what would it be like? Collect like that quest when you were trying to like find Caligos's like
the
like,
other blue dragon,
the other blue
guys.
dragons. It'd be like that. It's like, clean up the house while you listen to them talk. Like, I don't know. Like, is that what these people want?
Let your authors get paid. Are you trying to take jobs from these people? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm also just now thinking, as an alliance, if you were strictly alliance and only played the game, it's going to be wild to see Duroc. Like, the last time you saw him, he was a baby model in Kata. And then now he's like, hey, I'm big and grown, and look at my big orc wrinkle face. Also kind of fucked up, if they're doing an Degrassi Next Generation, that we don't get any Dogran 2 lore.
Yes, I was going to say, when the fuck... That's going to be the in-game stuff. They know what the players really want to see. We're going to be hanging out with that motherfucker. Speaking of motherfuckers, some of y'all motherfuckers gave us some dragon theories for the contest we ran, and we gotta end it this week because the set is leaving the store in a week.
So we have randomly selected a winner from our participants. So first off, I want to say thank you everyone for submitting your dragon theories. For time's sake, we will just read our winner, who is Dupes. Congratulations, Dupes. We will now read your theory and then get into contact with you to set up sending this gift to you, which we need to move quickly on because I think we need to wait like 3 days after we become friends on BNet to send this to you, and it's leaving the shop in 7 days. So we'll reach out to you as soon as we're done recording this.
Yeah, you listening to this episode might be in the past. You already know you've won, but yay, we'll give you your flowers here and now.
Yes, so congratulations, Dupes, and this was Dupes' theory. My theory states, the day/night glitch in-game wasn't a glitch at all. It was bleed over from Iridikron's use of the Void/Shadow disc that he takes from the Mega Dungeon, aka the Hunger of Galakrond. We'll see more effects to the skyline and weather as we draw nearer and deeper into War Within and approach midnight. Viranoth will be a pre-final patch boss where she is corrupted by the decay magic of Galakrond's discs. We stop her from playing out her grudge against Alexstrasza and the New World Tree. Then I think Galakrond will be persuaded by Xal'atath to consume the power of Galakrond as a means to turn Azeroth into a Dark Titan and thus draw the OG Titans out of hiding. We will face a Galakrond-esque Iridikron in the Midnight expansion, defeat him, but not before we play a pivotal role in showing the true nature and corruption of the Titans. We'll then have the ultimate dilemma of destroying Azeroth in order to rid the universe of corruption-based Titan magic, and we'll use the Aspect power to do so. Destroying Azeroth will plunge us into a new home world seeking expansion.
Holy shit, wait, okay, so, okay. I actually really like the idea of using the day-night, like, mechanics to, like, the weather, forcing, like, a scary skybox. People would not go for it because they would fucking be like, oh, my sky's icky. But how sick would that be to just, like, as midnight comes, get darker and darker, or, like, lighter and lighter?
Especially because War Withining, we're going to be underground. So we do all that kind of stuff. We're like, oh, we beat Xal'atath's Dark Armada. And then you could easily come out in pre-patch and be like, holy shit, like it's always night now. Like there's like dark portals opening up in the sky. When did this happen? And then you go to like Tim Gardsley, the Stormwind Guard, and he's like, it's been happening for months, my lord. What were you doing?
Since y'all went underground. But I would love, like, if the WoW team had the tact and, like, enough foresight to, like, just start doing this now. When, like, this obviously is just something they don't even know why the fuck it's happening. But it would be cool if just something so small was the beginning of it, and then it ramps up and things get, like, more and more weird. I feel like this is just just weird enough at the beginning that people are just like, oh, I mean, I guess it's just nighttime now at 2 p.m. It's like daylight savings time or whatever. There's something else I wanted to say about this. Well, fuck.
Well, also, it's just crazy too. And I will say, I mean, I don't believe it word of law, but I would absolutely love everything that Dupes has suggested to come about. But it would be wild if you were a current day guy and you were going into 14.0 to go find a new planet and like your friend starts and it's like, hey, let's meet up. Where are you? And I was like, oh, you can't actually warp here. It's like, oh, are you in Kalimdor? It's like, I'm on Zorbop, man.
Zorbop.
we went all the way to Zorbop.
Yeah, so like everyone who's in the leveling experience is in like locked into these old zones until they get to current Zorbop.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, sorry. I actually like Chromie's like, I can take you just about anywhere. And it's like, what about Zorbop? And it's like, nope, you gotta earn Zorbop.
That would be quick. Would we trust the Draenei to fly us out on the ship? Because we know they're historically really bad drivers. But who else do we know?
So I'm not a good Draenei lore guy. Don't they have like 3 of these things? The entire population of the world has to pile into just the Arcatraz.
Well, all the champions fit on the last one we had. You know, if there's 2
true.
more, we can get them flying.
And all I've got to say, the Vindicar never crashed, did it?
The Vindicar was the...
That was the Legion one. The Vindicar was also maybe 100 feet by 100 feet. But I mean, hey, you can squeeze a couple cities in there.
Got space-changing technology.
I mean, or it could be like our planet is dying. It's Outland 2ing. We're going to send all of our most important heroes to go find Zorbop. And then once you're there in like 14.2, then maybe you can bring us along.
So Dupes' theory is also interesting to me because I realized, who was it that even started bringing up that the skybox was changed? I mean, like, we all decided here that, like, none of us would have even noticed that it wasn't lining up, right? So I'm like, is this a conspiracy theory? Was Blizzard planting this information? Were they getting people talking about it to notice it? Because it is part of their storytelling.
That thread was huge. That thread had a lot of people being like, what's going on? What's happening? So, yeah, what if they did? You know? They're plants.
Just like the plant species that we'll find on Zorbop, who will be our 9th allied race.
What's it gonna be?
But they will be Horde only, unfortunately.
Oh. No, the plant race is going to the Hordes.
Yeah, we get the water race.
It's just like a bottle of water. Like, you just roll around in like a little like wheelbarrow. You're just liquid.
Honestly, I love that.
There's no body 1 and body 2. There's just body goo.
The Horde don't want that one because it's going to accidentally clean them up. You know, they can't get...
Durnam, Durok's son, who will lead the orcs by that point, will say,
No, our mud is our birthright. You cannot clean us up.
But yeah, congrats, Dupes. The wheel has spoken, and we will get in touch probably already, like, you know, as Aaron said, you've already heard this already, so you know. Let's just do our top 2 bottom boot. Medium move.
You know what? I was just thinking that. Let's freaking do it.
Oh, I'm going to start off with the top 2. And this is a hesitant top 2, but I'm going to call it a top 2.
Top 2?
2?
The Evoker's coming back for the Legendary in my next season, Season 4. The Honkometer has chosen already. It's really early, and I want this Legendary. I have a feeling it won't be kind to me. Wowhead said you're going to have to wait at max 41 times to max guarantee you 100% get it. I think it's going to take me that long to get it. I think they're going to punish me because they only want to hurt Evokers.
Also, like, the patch won't even be 41 resets long. That's honestly insane that they say that.
I don't like that.
Also, I'm surprised that the Guntometer has been this quick to decide something.
Yeah, I want to Evoker again. Healing is fun, but healing our raid sometimes is not. So
No, I had to do it this last week. And yeah, I don't miss it. I will say that.
The concept of healing is really cool. But if I didn't have to do so much of it.
It's really part of it is the spelling. The spelling's so I don't want it. It's so boring. I don't want to do that. I just want to make people alive. I don't want to have to get rid of their curses. Figure that out for yourself. Bring some potions or something. I don't know. De-hex yourself. What about you, Aaron? What's your top 2? Bottom boot, medium boot.
I'm going to give myself a bottom boot as well, or a bottom boot.
Boot.
Boo.
And it was that I got skill checked by my own wife the other day.
Oh. Wow.
What happened?
She was asking me, she said, how can I do more damage as Outlaw? You've played them all, right? And I said, and I gave her sort of a suggestion based on my very limited Outlaw experience as Misty Eyes, the Vulpyran Rogue. And then, so she tried it, and she was like, thanks, I guess. And then like an hour later, she was like, why didn't you tell me about this talent? And I was like, what? And she goes, if I spec into this, then I can do 5 hidden attacks at once. And like, it's like OP. And I was like, oh, I didn't know about it. And she goes, maybe you don't know as much as you think you do.
Jesus.
And then you were like, me? Ooh.
Yeah, I was like, damn, you slapped the spit out my mouth. Like I said, I have 2 rogues, and I definitely have played much more Assassination than Outlaw, but I got humbled. So now she best watch herself. If she asks me for any sort of help, I'll be like, girl, go read a guide. Clearly, I'm not the one to ask. Ooh.
Researchers under fire.
Exactly. But Immune, end it. Finish this up.
Well, I have a top toot.
Tootie toot.
Toot, toot, toot.
We're back in my rich era. I've been stalking the tables, and in particular, my top toot today is that somebody, for some reason, put a 10k gold public work order that I was able to snatch up. I'm like, damn, y'all got money or something.
So I'm utterly poor. 10k is still big business for you at this level?
Yeah.
Because I know you and Slide talk about, like, yeah, 50k orders. All they asked me to do was scratch my butt.
Oh, well, no, most of my orders that, like, I get from people are range anywhere from, like, 1k to 5k. And that involves, and then I have to use some of my own mats sometimes to, like, recraft. So just, like, outright getting, like, a 10k order from the public area that, like, I could just make at max rank without having to do anything special was, like, really unheard of for me. I've just been making money in, like, by sheer amount of orders that I've been putting out.
Money.
Speaking of Matt's, it's Matt, my neighbor when I was little's birthday today. Happy birthday, Matthew. Please stop posting online about stealing your daughter back. That does not look good for CPS.
No, it does not.
Speaking of CPS, it's the cool people sector, aka our patrons. They are Command Sergeant Major Chizurlo, Ahoy Vince, Instinct/Drag Race, Azar, and Digital Dave, asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Mitch, he wants to remind everyone that Rathion isn't daddy, he's a literal child. In my note, I accidentally added a little dad head here. So this week, you get that added on. He's a literal child, dad. Crucifix, Saracen Hawk, Kick Puncher, Jerome, Fisher Sensu, Adorno, Losing the Patient, Gershon, Big Papa Crispy's Big Mama, Calcus, a tired Void Elf, Huzzah! Johnny's Friday is saved, Wooly, Slidewhistle, Secret Stalker, Tee-hee-hee, Adam N, Vanderlyle, and Will, aka Tyre, Trade Chat's fallen father.
We are departing this earth and this week's episode. We'll see you next week. But if you want to contact us, you can email us at DoNotRelentpod@gmail.com or email me at NavaraCoffin@gmail.com. Send your smoke signals to Aaron. Let him know how to play Outlaw Rogue. What about you guys? Where can they find you on the internet?
Well, you can find me, Alex, or Immunization on Twitter at New Era Alex, or on Blue Sky at Immunization. And at this point, we are preparing to set sail. I am reeling in the anchor. Aaron, as we depart, you should put in some, like, boat sounds.
Oh, of course. I thought that was going to be a critique of the next thing that I say. Like, you should put in some good words. I was like, don't put me on the spot. But simple sound effects, those I can do. So, I guess our boat is setting sail. So, hear thee well, passengers. My name is Aaron. You can find me on Twitter at TheBigAcheesy. And you can find all of our links at our Linktree, that's linktr.ee/DoNotRelentpod. If we have a website, you can find it there. I'm going.
Avasti, matey. There he goes. He's gone. No, you know what that means?
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.